Well, originally when I decided I was going to do this, get up here and speak to everyone, I've said to my wife, I'm going to just do this off the cuff and just get up there and just say my story. And then last night I had like a nightmare. Am I dressed right now? Just making sure, because in my nightmare I was not. So around 4:30 this morning I woke up and I said, I've got to write this down, because if not, I'm going to be a bit scatterbrained. I'm going to start going off this way, I'm going to start going off this way, and no one's going to get anything out of what I say. So I just want to thank everybody for being here and taking a chance on seeing what this lifestyle is all about. Healing humanity is exactly what this lifestyle is all about. If anybody doesn't know this, that 93% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy. That only leaves 7% of the rest of the Americans to be healthy, and maybe even not that much. So if we can just get 1% better after this meeting, that'd be great. Or if we can just touch one person and have them change their whole life around, that'd be great. Maybe it'll take 2 or 3 more of these before that happens. But I did go ahead and write all this stuff down so that I wouldn't forget the journey that I've been on. This is my 3-year carniversary. So, as my hat says, meet my food. It is a steer on there, so I pretty much eat 10 or 12 eggs every morning and a ribeye steak in the afternoon, and I'm good to go. So I'm just going to start from the top. I'm terrible at reading, so if I mess up, just make fun of me later. Gosh, this is a lot longer than I thought it would be. Let me see if I can turn it sideways, get bigger words. Oh, there we go. Well, let me see what slide we got here. Right. Oh, roll that's left. Oh wait, I'm putting it upside down. That's right. There we go. Okay, this is my channel for sure. I started this again like Robin. I was at that same meetup with Robin in Chicago, Illinois. We met each other then. She's a beautiful lady, has a beautiful husband over there. Ooh, I said beautiful husband, but he's a beautiful man. Anyway, Carrie said the same thing to me. Oh, just document. I said, Carrie, I don't have a YouTube. I don't really do social media that much. He said, oh, no big deal. Just start a YouTube channel. And then he said, if the only thing you can do is show what you're eating, just do that. Show what you're eating. So for the first year, I just put up what I was eating. Sometimes there's music to it. Sometimes it's a good video. Sometimes it's a terrible video. Mostly terrible videos. But I'm not as tech savvy as these other ones. So I don't have a whole lot of extra, flair to my slides. But this is my original why to get into the carnivore lifestyle. This is my cousin Brad. He was diagnosed with esophageal cancer and has since passed, but I'm going to tell you that in this story. I'm going to leave that up there for now, and I'll just go. This is my carnivore journey. I started in August of 2022 with a cancer diagnosis, but it wasn't mine. This is when I learned my cousin Brad was having health issues. We were only a couple weeks apart in age, even though I was just a few weeks older than him. He was someone I always looked up to when we were growing up. On one hand, you had Brad. To me, he seemed to be one of the straightest edge people I'd ever known. He was super kind and loving. He had a great job and a beautiful family. He didn't drink or smoke or do drugs of any kind. On the other hand, there was me. I drank alcohol, I smoked lots of weed, I experimented with many different drugs over the years of my life, and I ate a completely garbage diet. This was about to change. He was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, so I thought I was going to be the one to help him heal, so I started researching diets that might be good for a cancer diagnosis, because I was determined to be the one to save him from that problem. This is when I came across the Carnivore Code by Paul Saladino, trader. And I started reading it. Then I found Dr. Ken Berry and all his proper human diet videos on YouTube. I read more books, like Lies My Doctor Told Me by Dr. Ken Berry, Toxic Superfoods by Sally Norton, The Carnivore Diet by Dr. Sean Baker, Carnivore Cure by Judy Cho, Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind by Dr. Georgia E. And then I found more people. Dr. Chafee, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, Dr. Boz, Dr. Westman, Dave Mack, Kelly Hogan, just to name a few. I was convinced this lifestyle was going to be the way to save my cousin. So I decided to jump right in and take the Dr. Berry's 90-day challenge of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I had no idea the impact it would have on my life. Still have no idea. You see, I was suffering from poor diet and lifestyle up to this point in my life, but I had done like so many others and just thought all my problems were related to my age, how hard I worked, and how hard I played. For context, I was 47, working in restaurants my whole adult life, putting in 12-plus-hour days on my feet 5 days or 6 days a week. I would come home with neuropathy in my hands and feet. I would eat garbage before, during, and after work. I would party until the late hours, get a poor 5 hours or 4 sometimes of sleep, sometimes not sleep at all, and do it all over again the very next day. Needless to say, my gut health was also terrible. I would go to the bathroom several times a day. I spent 30 minutes or more on the toilet each time I went, often experiencing blood in my stool. Of course, I just thought this was probably normal for a guy my age, especially with the nefarious activity I was engaging in. So, of course, I was wrong, because this 90-day challenge became the silver lining of my life. In the first few weeks, I suffered with the keto flu, but pushed forward. Thank God I did, because that's when all the magic started to happen. A fog lifted from my brain that I never knew I had. I could just really think clearer. My joint pain in my hands, feet, shoulders, and knees just went away out of the blue. Now you're just like walking one day and you're like, wait a minute, what happened to that little crick in my knee? Why does my shoulder feel? I've had bursitis in my shoulder for 25 years. Wow. I was totally sleeping better, and all of my productivity had skyrocketed. I was probably the #1 server in my restaurant to begin with, and now nobody could catch me. So everything got easier during this period, except one thing. The one thing is, my cousin lost his battle with cancer. In February of 2023, this is when I lost my way again. So I went to my cousin's wake, and there was all this great food and all this great family, and I thought, I'm just gonna enjoy it. And that went on for several months. I enjoyed those several months in a very terrible way. I started eating garbage, which led to drinking, which led to more drinking, which led to using weed again to make myself feel better from the drinking. So until a few months by, then I regained focus from a new person I saw online. I bet you can't guess what his name was. Carrie Mann. Sorry, it makes me tear up. But he was so inspiring. He absolutely lit my spark again, and I went back to the carnivore lifestyle. Only this time I was still doing it dirty. I found that I could still drink alcohol as long as it was vodka and soda. I could still enjoy weed as long as it was a sugar-free gummy. So I was living a dirty carnivore lifestyle, but I was getting all those amazing benefits. Late that year, I attended my first meetup. It was Carrie's first organized meetup featuring Dr. Tony Hampton. What an inspiring man that guy is. I convinced my beautiful wife, Molly, right here in the crowd, to go with me to Chicago to meet these people who had inspired me to get back on track. We had one of the best experiences, an awesome ride to Chicago and meeting up with Carrie and all the people there. My friend over here you met just a little bit ago. Well, just like I said before, Carrie convinced me to share my journey online. So I went home from that experience a changed person. I wanted to shout out from the rooftop how great this life is. Unfortunately, people thought I was crazy. When I told them what I was doing, so eating meat and eggs and getting healthy, they'd say, yeah, right. They'd say, what about your cholesterol? What about fruits and vegetables and stuff? You can't go on living like that. You're gonna have a heart attack. You're gonna die. Well, I didn't know the answer to these questions, but I pressed on. So each day I would continue to feel better and better. The longer you live this lifestyle, the more changes your body and mind continues to make. For the remainder of 2023 and all of 2024, I continued on my dirty carnivore lifestyle. I started doing intermittent fasting. This changed into long-term fasting, which changed everything again, because now I could not drink or use weed during these fasting periods. I quickly learned that I no longer needed these things like I thought I did before. So then I found a YouTuber by the name of Lauren Knight Hughes. She spoke on alcohol and how it controlled her mom's life and her own. She was going to be at a meetup in Austin, Texas in March of 2025. I said, babe, I gotta go. She said, you're gonna go see another woman without me? I said, babe, I gotta go. She said, get on the plane. So I had to meet her. I went to Austin. I met her, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, of course, the Rodney Dangerfield of the carnivore lifestyle. And I was so inspired by all the people and the energy in the room, and I couldn't wait to go to another meetup. You see, in Columbus, I had been isolated without other like-minded people to talk to about this way of living. My only outlet up to this point was following people on YouTube. Now, I really wanted to help others find this way of living. My new addiction was to go to these meetups and talk to all the people who have changed their lives with diet and lifestyle. And I think I met pretty much all of you today as you came in. I think that's my favorite spot, checking you in. Because this one right here is a little bit scary. Well, I also dreamed that we could have an event like these in Columbus, Ohio, so I set out to make it happen. Since Austin, I've attended several other meetups, including Yuma, Tennessee, where I volunteered to help in April of this year. Meeting Dr. Berry for the first time. He is a huge man. We talked about it. Yeah, and he's very warm too. And of course, Dr. Berry does save lives. Along with that, I met Dante Ferrigno, Carrie's inspiration. Thank you, Dante. Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, the carnivore eye doctor. Carnivore Ray Hicks, who has a very inspiring message for a lot of people out there. I hope that he connects with a lot of younger folks. Ashley Rogers, mom and dad, who just absolutely stole my heart. What a beautiful couple, beautiful kids. Ashley and his brother. Christopher Bramlin, the carnivore lawyer at the time, and now the aspiring congressional incumbent. Many other people as well. And then I got home and I said, babe, I got invited to Boston. I think I'm going to Boston. She said, when's my turn to go on vacation? I said, you can come with me. No, I'll just stay here and watch the dogs. All right. So she put me on the plane again, and I had the honor of volunteering with the Kilts Health to see the world-renowned cancer expert from Boston College, Professor Thomas C. Fried. And his mitochondrial metabolic theory of cancer. It blew me away. I always thought it was genetic. Turns out it is not. Dr. Annette Bosworth was there, kind of his lackey, a ketogenic guru who helped her mom regain her life back through basically learning from Dr. Seafried. Dr. Stone, a thyroid specialist I'd never heard of, but a carnivore and very smart. Then I found myself in Las Vegas, Nevada to support my new friend Christopher Bramman and my mentors, Dr. Kilts and Dr. Nelson. Dr. Nelson, you're not forgotten.
Aww.
I met so many new friends along this journey and hope to continue this lifestyle forever. Just last week, I decided to get my blood work done so that I could answer those questions about my cholesterol and other important markers people want to challenge. Once I go over the results with a clinician, I will share with the world how I'm doing on paper. But in the real world, I'm doing great. I would like to give a big thanks to the Healing Humanity team, Kilts Health, Mr. Steiner and the Funny Bone for this space, as well as all of you attending today. It's all about faith, family, and food freedom. May God bless us all. Thank you very much. And one more thing. I think it got erased. No big deal. But I wanted to just thank my cousin Brad for being a part of my life and really through his illness changing my entire life. This is what I used to look like. You can tell it's a little bit different. Maybe just a hair. But have we? Have we ever done that? Thank you all very much.